Hmm. Wrestling. It's been around for so many years, and I've been a fan for so many years, and there have been ups, there have been downs, and I gotta say, this whole YWC thing, man, it's pretty cool, you know. And this is my first video. This is your boy mweDXtreme, D-Xtreme just for short, because I take it to D-Xtreme, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I just want to address a few topics over the past few years that have been of major discussion. My first topic is gotta be Benoit. The guy committed suicide and murdered his family. So yeah, I'm answering your topic, NMC08. Second, I mean, like, I respect your videos and stuff like that, and you give great vids, great opinions, man. I'm all for the bad guy, you know. So keep doing what you're doing. But my opinion on this, and it's not so much that I respect him, you know, and I'm not gonna separate it as the in-ring competitor and the person of life. It's just like there are a lot of different things that go into the, how do I put this? There's just a lot that has to deal with it. It's the fact that, imagine being a wrestler, going through the pain and everything, also maintaining a family, and being on the road all the time, not seeing it. Now, I'm not defending him, but I'm just saying, one, that's stressful enough. Two, he was one of those people who did take pain relief, pain pills. You know, he's a pill popper. I'm not gonna defend him on that. That's his choice. But but I think the biggest mistake that he made that affected all of this was the damn man used a diving headbutt as his finisher. I mean, when he was found dead and they did the brain shit and tried to realize his, like what his brain was like. It was like an 100-and-something-year-old man, and the guy wasn't even past 50, I don't think. So, major brain damage. He had a lot going on. He was under stress, and so I don't respect him for killing his family, not at all. And I'm not just saying that to ride your dick or anything like that. I don't do that. I state my opinion. Everybody's entitled to theirs. So, and there's one word I do not say in my YWC videos, and that's the S word. And it's not shit. Alright? After the past few weeks and what I've seen, I wanted to make sure the S word had nothing to do with my videos. And MC, you know what I'm talking about when I say the S word. Stupid dude. Anyways, the whole thing with Benoit, plain and simple, too much stress is the cause of almost any illness. Always under stress, under pressure, and I give him credit where credit is due for being one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time. But other than that, whatever, man. It's like, everybody makes bad decisions in their life. He made way too many. And I think, and one of those bad decisions that he made that, like, caught up to him, and I don't have a problem with the diving headbutt, but to do it as a week in, week out finisher move, it's just, well, compare it to Jeff Hardy, and that fool dives everywhere. So, don't get, and that's the next topic. Victory Road, I looked at it in so many ways. TNA Victory Road, for those who watched it, I watched a free stream. I don't care, alright? I don't care that I watched a free stream. I ain't paying that much money for a pay-per-view, unless it's WrestleMania. But, yeah, Victory Road was, it was basically what I expected it to be, except for the end. I was one of those guys, I was hoping Sting would go to the WWE, and I hope one day he does, because he's the only guy in my book who I see bringing back Shawn Michaels for his last match, and then Sting could have his final match, and it could be retirement, final match, all-in-one at WrestleMania. Great match, everybody wins. I mean, everybody wants Sting versus Taker. I want Sting versus Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, at WrestleMania. That would just be the perfect match, despite how old they are. And what happened, I mean, there are so many things that I could talk about. First off, before I lead to the main event, I want to talk about the Knockouts tag match. Now, why I'm bringing that up is because I'm an in-ring fan. I like all wrestling, so I respect the women who get into it and do their thing. And so kudos to all the women of TNA, WWE, Indies, whatever, man. But I think that I'm really starting to like the storyline that's going on between the beautiful people and Winter, because it just reminds me so much of Mickie James and Trish Stratus. And that storyline was a year long that led all the way to WrestleMania. And when Mickie came in, she was just obsessed with Trish to the point of a lesbian angle. And I'm not saying this is going in that exact same thing, but it's like you got Winter who just came in out of nowhere, and she's so hooked on freaking Angelina, and she's just like, whatever, you know? I hate doing that. But, and then you got Velvet. Everybody wants some of Velvet, but, yeah. And all the things, it's just like, those two are best friends, and then Winter comes in and takes her spot when Velvet's knocked out, becomes tag, and they become tag champs. It's like, what the fuck? And so I'm really happy that they were stripped of the titles, so then when it's all said and done, I know it's gonna lead down the line, and I don't even read spoilers. I don't do that, but and that's just because it helps me out. But I'm one of those people that's just like, whatever, man. I felt good when the titles were stripped. I don't care who it was stripped to. I kind of called that a squash match on me, but it's just like whatever. And now we can focus more on the stories of Velvet versus Winter. Can't wait for that one. And then after that, we'll see the beautiful people finally back in line for another Knockouts tag title match. But enough about that. On to the main event. No, I take that back. The promos of Jeff Jarrett. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna quote my man Craig Williams, aka the Human Tornado. Wish you were still in the ring. He'll smack your ass. And that's all I can say about Jeff Jarrett, man. What the fuck is your problem? Cause he's a nut. What type of man? And I don't even know if it's more so his fault or Karen Jarrett's fault. Because what type of man who is in a relationship, or who was in a relationship, his wife died, is working in a company, and then Kurt Angle, who left WWE for family matters so he could be more with his family, and then there's a divorce between him and his wife, and while he's still working at the same company, his wife hooks up with one of his coworkers. And that's real. That's not. And then they put that into a story. Now, when that first happened, I was like, all right, whatever. But then you put it in the kids. I'm like, fuck that. You know, that's like when WWE did the whole thing of Eddie Guerrero playing a heel with Rey Mysterio's kids and saying Dominic was his son. It's not true. I know it's not true. But there's still that suspense, and like this is even further than that. That's like fucked it, you know. But yeah. And then the main event. Since I'm just gonna skip everything else, but oh, by the way, AJ, great match. Oh my god, Matt Hardy, why do you let your brother do these things? I grew up a Hardy fan. I at one point in time when I wanted to be a wrestler growing up, I was thinking to myself, man, I could be the next Hardy Boy, the next generation, you know. But what the fuck, man? You leave WWE because your brother left such a mess there, dealing with drugs, and then they give you heat, so you go to TNA. And you were tripping for so long about, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll bring back my old promotion. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. Matt Hardy, you just want to be next to your brother. I don't got a problem with that. I love my brother. I love both my brothers. But you done fucked up. I'm not saying you gotta watch your little brother like a baby, but it's like you guys were working the same pay-per-view, same night, and you couldn't warn anybody ahead of time. Yo, Jeff can't do the match. Let's get us up. And Jeff Hardy, I always thought you were the cool Hardy. You were, and now you're just local. All I gotta say is, you know what? CM Punk was right. Straight edge. Don't drink. Don't smoke. Drugs are bad. If you're gonna do that stuff, do it in a manner manage your time with that crap. Know when you have to have enough, because drugs kill. They do, and that's all I gotta say about that. Another topic I want to talk about is there are certain independent wrestlers who just have to be pushed into the big scene. I was really cheering when Bryan Danielson, who's now Daniel Bryan, was pushed into WWE, but I would love to see WWE get in contact with AAA and sign Jack Evans. Sure, you got Matt Sindel from Wrestling Society X, who worked with Jack Evans, but to get that guy and go all the way to WWE and just be the guy who does the shooting star press, and then you get some nobody like Justin Gabriel who could do a 450. Imagine someone who could do 2 flips in the air and then hit a senton. Jack Evans can do 3. I'm just saying. But yeah, there's D-Xtreme, aka mweDXtreme, and this is my very first video. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below or respond with another video, and I'll try to get back as soon as I can. I do other stuff too. I posted some videos from a convention that I went to earlier this year, and all I can say is keep taking it to the extreme.